Stella, so great to have you with us. You are a trailblazer to the core. And over the last 2 decades, you've created a thriving community of readers and writers up and down the corridor. What I'm curious about are the countless times when you took a leap of faith to create a program or an event, like the Writers Festival, the Authors in the Schools program, the Whistler Writer in Residence. And there were no guarantees that any of these would work. In the beginning, there was no money to do any of it. And really, you didn't even know if people would show up. What are the parts of you? What's that secret sauce of ingredients that enabled you to trailblaze?
In a word, craziness. Basically, it's a combination, I think, of a lot of things. Craziness, number one, and for sure. Focus is another thing. Absolute drive, no matter what comes in my way, continuing. And a bit of fearlessness, which is funny for me to say, but I think that that's because I think I'm afraid of a lot of things. Lots of things can happen along the way, things that will derail you, push you in different, stop you, push you in different directions. But I think those elements are really important. And then picking yourself up when you fall, dusting yourself off, and continuing no matter what happens.
Now, you're also a published author and dare I say, tomorrow maker, because you're experimenting with form and genre and processes. Can you talk to us about that?
I think for me, like why I write anyway in the first place is because I want to understand something that I can't figure out. There's something happening in the world, there's something happening in the community, or I meet people that I don't quite understand why they do what they do. And so I think that's, the motivation for why I write. I'm trying to figure out what it is, you figure out a problem. And then I think the other aspect for me is accessibility. I read a great deal and I want to see other people read. And not all books are accessible to people, to everyone. So I think experimenting with the graphic novel, for example, was really something around accessibility, wanting to tell a story, and see if the best way to tell a story was through a graphic model. So you've put up the Beck, some of the graphics, and I have to say this is not my work at all. This is the brilliant work of Joanna, the artist who I'm working with on this graphic novel. Bumbelina is the working title of it. And so, I basically tried to figure out how do I do a graphic novel? Took some workshops, did some other things, did some reading, and just started to experiment with it. And I really, really enjoyed the process. I think I like pushing myself to do something different. And so that's experimenting allows me to do that. And I think the bottom line is, again, accessibility. How best to make the work accessible to as many people as possible.
Thank you, Stella. It's simply gorgeous. I'm so impressed by the work that you've done and also your partnership with the illustrator. That's
Mhm.
not an easy thing to do, is to partner with another creator
Yes.
project. So well done.
Well, and it's interesting too because Joanna's a writer as well, and so what was really great is that she could take my text and say, "Well, what about this?" or "How come that happened?" or "Do we need to have this here?" If we could, show it in a graphic. And so it was a wonderful is not was is a wonderful partnership.